You will like this video. You will click subscribe. Hey guys, what's up? If you don't know me, I'm Nate Bridgman. I'm the thumbs up movie reviewer from MovieStuff. We had a couple movies come out this weekend. Most popular was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. So instead of reviewing that, I'll review the last final installment of the Star Wars original trilogy. Just to let you know that. Anyways, the last installment, I will be reviewing the last installment of the Star Wars original trilogy, Star Wars Return of the Jedi. So Return of the Jedi, now just to be aware, I warned you in my last classic movie review, every classic movie review is going to have spoilers. So again, spoiler alert. Not in every single one of my new reviews when I review a new movie or any other type of movie, it won't have spoilers. But classic movie reviews will have spoilers, so again, spoiler alert. Now to get that out of the way. So Return of the Jedi starts out on Tatooine with the plan to rescue Han Solo. If you remember from The Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo was captured by the Empire, sold to Jabba the Hutt, and now Jabba the Hutt is using it as decoration, frozen in carbonite. So basically, they basically have a plan with Luke, Leia, Chewbacca, Lando, C-3PO, and R2-D2. One part doesn't work out, and they all eventually get captured. Leia gets a slave outfit on. Luke gets captured. Han Solo gets unfrozen, but is still captured. But then, here comes this scene where they have the big pit monster that's a pet jaw. But then, sorry guys, I am really slow on talking again, as I usually am in these videos. But anyway, he's just to get back to them. This is one of my favorite action scenes. This is where the action actually begins. It's when Jabba's about to feed into this pet monster, which is like this big pit in the sand. But then Luke, using the Force, grabs his lightsaber. And this isn't like choreographic like the prequels. This lightsaber that Luke uses, his lightsaber skills are actually he uses his lightsaber and he destroys just destroys everyone except for his friends. Except for his rebel friends on Jabba's ship. They basically get destroyed, and we actually have one of the saddest, most stupidest deaths ever happen. This is one of my main flaws for Return of the Jedi. This is why Return of the Jedi is actually my least favorite of the original trilogy. I mean, I like this one, but anyway, I'll get to my final opinion later. But then Boba Fett comes in trying to take them out, but he dies in the stupidest way possible. This is how Boba Fett dies. Han Solo accidentally shoots his jetpack like whoops. Then Boba Fett hits Jabba's ship, falls down into the carpet, and that's how he dies. I know. And Boba Fett, if you remember from The Empire Strikes Back, they built him as this dark character that works for Jabba, and we wanted to see more of him throughout Return of the Jedi. But then we killed him off in the stupidest way possible. I can't think of a stupider way to make a stupid death for Boba Fett but that. But, oh well, man, why do I keep doing this with the chair? I keep just getting off and on again. I might as well just raise it. Oh well. Anyways, just to let you guys know that I'm spinning around in this chair. Anyway, back to the plot of it. They escape from Jabba the Hutt's clutches and they go out the Rebel Alliance. Luke, if you remember from The Empire Strikes Back, made a promise to Yoda that he would return to Dagobah, and he goes there while the other guys go up into the Rebel Alliance to plan how they are building the second Death Star. Now going back to the Empire. Darth Vader is still trying to turn Luke to the dark side using the Force, but then boom! We get our first look at Emperor Palpatine. And oh man, is he creepy. And as the Empire is just trying to build this second Death Star, which is supposed to be even more powerful than the first Death Star while it's being under construction, the Emperor is on there to seduce Luke and trying to make sure this battle station is fully operational. But anyways, get back to Luke and the Rebels. The Rebels are planning an attack mode to destroy the Death only the second Death Star since the Emperor's already on it. And they said, okay, if we can destroy the second Death Star, that would basically end the war, the Imperial and Rebellion war that's going on throughout the galaxy, and would end the Empire and would bring peace to the galaxy. Now back to Luke to Dagobah. Now when Luke returns to Dagobah, he's talking with Yoda trying to complete his training, but Yoda said, "Much you have learned, young one." And you can just tell that Yoda is in here, and he's talking to Luke, and he said, "Yoda, I need your help. Is Darth Vader really my father?" And Yoda says, "Not important right now. In order to become a Jedi, you must confront Vader." But Luke is like, "But is he my father?" Then Yoda says, "Your father, Darth Vader, is..." And then Yoda dies. And he dies the same way as Obi-Wan Kenobi do, as all Jedi do. They disappear and their body becomes a ghost. Basically, Yoda becomes a ghost and they will be with Luke. Then Luke leaves Dagobah, heads to the Rebel Alliance. He learns the plan to destroy the second Death Star with the Emperor in it. So the second Death Star is hovering the second moon of Endor. So while the Rebels go there to destroy the Reflector Shield, having the Rebels to go in there and actually destroy the second Death Star and end the Empire. Now, when they go to Endor, this is where we meet the most annoying characters from the original trilogy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just give this example. Ask a girl if they like Star Wars, and if they reply, I like those little bear things, they're talking about the Ewoks. I hate these guys. They're so freaking ridiculous. I mean, they're kind of cute, yeah, but they're mostly just in there. You can tell George Lucas just had to deal with this part. This part is solely just to make Ewok merchandise, have 2 spin-off Ewok TV films, and just, oh my gosh, and they're annoying. I'll admit that, they're annoying. I mean, well, not in this film exactly, but I just got tired and sick of seeing them. I'm like, they're not the best part of Return of the Jedi. And they have like this action scene where the Ewoks just destroy the stormtroopers that the Emperor literally said himself were his best stormtroopers. The Ewoks destroy them using nothing but sticks and bamboo spears, and I'm like, how is that even possible? Honestly, that's stupid. But, I mean, the action scene was pretty cool, I'll admit that, with Han Solo and the Rebellion destroying the base. I'll admit that scene was cool. But let's get on to the end. This is the part. Luke confronts Leia and says, "Leia, do you remember our mother? Our real mother?" And it's like, I have vague memory of her. But Luke is like, how can you have that when I can barely even remember her? All I remember is her face when I dead. I can't even remember. Oh, wait a minute, that's not what he says. He just says, I can barely even remember her. Then Luke says, "Leia, the Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it." Then you realize, who's his sister? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yoda actually mentions to Luke before he dies that he actually has a sister. And the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi comes back and tells Luke that his sister is Princess Leia. So then Luke reveals to Leia that she is his sister. And it gets all awkward because if you remember from The Empire Strikes Back, there's actually a scene where Luke actually kisses Leia and... awkward! Anyway... Hey, now that that's out of the way, Luke goes to the Endor base where Vader is there because he senses that Darth Vader is there. Darth Vader is talking to Luke. This is one of my favorite moments in the Return of the Jedi. It's when, "Father, I know there is still good in you. Why can't I accept that?" It's like, there is no good in me. Only that you will never realize the full potential and power of the dark side of the Force. Then Luke says, "I know there is still good in you. I know you're still Anakin Skywalker." He's like, "That name is foreign to me. I am no longer Anakin Skywalker." Then Luke just says this to Vader, "Then my father truly is dead." Then Darth Vader and Luke get on the ship, and you can just tell that Vader is just thinking throughout the entire rest of the film. And they head to the second Death Star where we meet the Emperor again and try to seduce Luke to the dark side. Now, I love this scene. This is the final battle of the scene from Return of the Jedi. It's when the Rebel Alliance are waiting for the other Rebel Alliance on Endor to destroy the shields so that they can enter the second Death Star and destroy it, while Luke is on the second Death Star with Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine trying to seduce him to the Force. Now, this is one of my favorite lightsaber duels. It's when Darth Vader brings Luke to Emperor Palpatine, and Emperor Palpatine is trying to seduce him to the dark side, saying, "I sense much anger in you." And the Emperor's just being a total, oh my gosh, this dude is just creepy, just seducing him. It's like, "I feel your anger. I feel your hate, young one." He's almost like the bad version of Yoda. That's always how I imagine the Emperor to be. I always imagine him to be the bad version of Yoda. And what do we get? The bad version of Yoda. Basically, he's telling Darth Vader, "You can surpass me. Turn into the dark side." And then Luke says, "You would try to seduce me, but I'll never join the Empire." It's like, maybe this will change your mind. Then the Emperor uses the Death Star to start destroying the Rebel Alliance in space with the Millennium Falcon. Every single one of the Rebel troops in there, he's just destroying them using the Death Star himself. And not only to add that, but through the Force, the Emperor sends the stormtroopers down to the moon of Endor to capture Han, Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, and the rest of the Rebel Alliance on the second moon of Endor. And Luke is watching his friends literally get destroyed. He's watching all the Rebel Alliance getting destroyed using the Death Star. And you could just tell by the look in Luke's face, he's like, "No, please don't." And you could just hear the Emperor saying, "I can feel your hatred to me. Strike me down, young one." And then, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this as well. Luke gives the Emperor his lightsaber saying, "I don't really need it because you won't seduce me." But then the Emperor grabs Luke's lightsaber and says, "What's this? You want to kill me with this, don't you?" Then Luke, using his hatred, just makes the wrong decision. He uses the Force to grab the lightsaber, strikes out his lightsaber. Then Darth Vader gets out his lightsaber, clashes with Luke, and you can see the Emperor just smiling like, "Ha ha 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 ha." And then a big lightsaber duel happens. Now, what I like about the lightsaber duel between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in this movie is because it's not just a lightsaber duel. You have other stuff going on. You have the Emperor trying to seduce Luke to the dark side. You have Vader also trying to seduce Luke to the dark side. And it's not really just fighting. It's just more than that. And one of my favorite scenes from this duel is when Darth Vader has Luke cornered. You don't really find Luke. You don't see Luke anywhere. And Darth Vader is just saying, "I sense you have a sister. If I cannot turn you to the dark side, then maybe she will." Then Luke just comes out of the corner, you see him just angry, grabs out his lightsaber, and just destroying Vader. Then Luke Skywalker cuts off Vader's arm and realizes he's had a mechanical arm just like he is. Then Luke looks at his mechanical arm, and the Emperor is saying, "Good, good. Now you can truly become to the dark side." Then Luke realizes, and you realize too, you're like, "Oh my gosh, Luke is turning into Darth Vader." And then Luke puts down his lightsaber. He's like, "Never. I'll never join the dark side. I'm a Jedi just like my father before me." Then the Emperor is like, "Then die." And this part is just ridiculous. We've seen many things that you can do with the Force. You've seen Force shows, Force lists, just like that. Holy crap, I don't have a lot of time. Anyway, hey, the Emperor shocks Luke with lightning. Vader rises up, and Luke is just saying, "Father, please help me." And the Emperor's like, "Now, young Skywalker, you will die." Then Darth Vader picks up the Emperor, and you can tell in his look of his eye, "I can't do this." He throws the Emperor out, killing the Emperor. Darth Vader and Luke escape the Death Star. The rebels blow up the Death Star, and we get to then Darth Vader. But before the rebels blow up the Death Star, Darth Vader says, "Luke, take my mask off." He says, "But you'll die." It's like, "Please, I want to see your face with my own." Then Luke takes off Darth Vader's mask, and you can see just all the scars that Vader has that he's going through. He's like, "Now, my young son, go." So basically, how to make a long story, or Luke escapes the Star. The rebels destroy the Death Star. Happy ending. Celebration on Endor. Luke sees the 3 ghosts of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda, and boom, happily ever after. So in the end, I liked Return of the Jedi. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was better than most Star Wars movies. I liked the writing in here. I liked the action scenes in here. I liked the confrontation between the Emperor and Darth Vader. I liked the introduction of him. I liked how they ended it. There was some stuff that I didn't like in here. Like I didn't like the Ewoks. I didn't really like the way how they kill Boba Fett. But in the end, I love Return of the Jedi. It's my least favorite of the original trilogy, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. I thought it was action-packed. I thought the acting was great. The writing was great. The directing was great. I give Return of the Jedi 2 thumbs up. So anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on Star Wars Return of the Jedi. What did you think of Return of the Jedi? Comment below. Let me know. Also, guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter at NateBridgman1, and be sure to rate this video whether you liked or disliked it. Also, be sure to subscribe. I'm Nate Bridgman. I'm the Thumbs Up Movie Reviewer for MovieStuff, and as always, see you later and subscribe.